This really is a test of speed and sheer endurance. 28 barriers and 7 water jumps. Ben Kogo of Kenya, silver medalist in the Olympic Games and 3rd in this event 4 years ago. He's the fastest Kenyan. In spite of Biwott winning the Olympic title, Kogo has done 8 minutes 31.6, but that was 3 years ago. So the lineup on the inside, Jipcho of Kenya. Then Grant McLaren, the Canadian champion. Tony Manning, this new Australian, wearing number 22. 126, Jerry Stevens of England, the British record holder. 383, Bernard Haywood, who improved 8 seconds to qualify, of Wales. Then the Olympic champion, Amos Biwott of Kenya. Brian Jones of Scotland. Kogo of Kenya. Holden of England. O'Brien, the world record holder of Australia. Three Kenyans, 2 Englishmen, 2 Australians, 1 Scot, 1 Welshman, 1 Canadian. Interesting to see if in this the Kenyans want to take it up, but in fact it's Bernard Haywood of Wales in front at the moment from the Canadian McLaren, and moving up on the outside Andy Holden of England as they go into the first barrier. Holden leads. On the inside, McLaren of Canada. 3rd is Haywood of Wales, and in 4th place at the moment Jerry Stevens of England. And the Kenyans have made no move, a call to come forward. In fact, they were towards the back of the field. Settling down in the back straight, Holden with this very personal way of taking hurdles. We'll watch him go into the next one. He nods almost at the hurdle as he measures his stride about 5 out. That's Holden the leader. Watch him. That's it. A real dip. He almost bows to the hurdle. And up they come to the water jump for the first time. Holden, England leading. In 2nd place, Grant McLaren of Canada. 3rd is Haywood of Wales. And 4th, Jerry Stevens of England. Good clearance by Holden. Most steeplechasers put 1 foot on the barrier, 1 foot in the water, the other foot clear. Biwott of Kenya is the one who clears the whole water jump. Holden going very, very smoothly in front, just having completed the first lap, and they're inside a schedule for the Commonwealth Games record. The record held by Welsh of New Zealand, 8 minutes 29.6. Holden for England, McLaren for Canada, Haywood for Wales, Stevens for England. Then in 5th place, Kerry O'Brien for Australia. The Kenyans moving through together. Holden with this very economical stride, very low action, very little lift at the back. And the crowd beginning to notice this little nod he's got at the hurdles. So Holden leads into the water for the 2nd time for England. 2nd place is McLaren of Canada. 3rd is Haywood of Wales. 4th, Stevens of England. An enormous jump by Biwott takes him up into 5th place. The Olympic champion moving up on the outside. Biwott wearing number 204. And he's coming right through the water jump there. He took 2 or 3 yards out of the leaders. Still Holden in front, a member of the Preston Club, studying at Birmingham University. Very young for a steeplechaser, 21. Still inside the Games record schedule, about a second inside after 2 laps. Holden, England. McLaren, Canada. Haywood of Wales. Biwott of Kenya. Stevens of England. O'Brien, the world record holder from Australia. And Tony Manning of Australia. And Biwott is powering his way to the front now. The Olympic champion beginning to take it up. Right alongside Holden, and we may get a clear view of the water jumping technique now of the Olympic champion. But Holden beat him in the air. He's not very sophisticated over the barriers, Biwott, but he really does clear this water jump. Now watch the 2 of them go together, and let's see whether Biwott can take ground off Holden. Well, what he loses over barriers, he gains in the water. He took 2 to 3 yards out of the rest then. an enormous, extravagant leap when he gained ground. Holden pulling it back on the flat. As they go over this barrier, just study now Biwot's technique at that water jump. He accelerates into it, already taking ground off Holden, leaps high and long, tucks his legs back, and is already running as he hits the ground. Biwot back in second place at the moment, though, because while we're watching that, Kerry O'Brien, the world record holder from Australia, determined to make his class tell, has moved up in front. This man, fresh almost from that world record that he set in East Berlin at the beginning of this month. Kerry O'Brien, fourth in the Olympic Games. Amos Biwot in second place, the gold medalist in the Olympic Games. And third place now, this new Australian, Tony Manning. We'll have a look at Manning down the finishing straight because he's an interesting character, wearing number 22. It's Biwot now getting a clear view of that water jump again as he takes over. He loves this. And so do the crowd. But Kerry O'Brien lost nothing to him. 383 Hayward of Wales in third place. He's going well. And that's Tony Manning now. Travels 6 hours from his home, way out in the bush, wearing number 22 to compete each weekend. And Ron Clark says he's the original and perhaps the only bushwhacker now in Australia. Really lives way out in the country, and it's a tribute to his dedication and his real hard work that he's got through to this level. Beat Clark and O'Brien in the Australian 5,000 metre championship, but passed it up for this, and Clark believes that he will give Kerry O'Brien and the Kenyans something to really know that he's been around before the end of this race, but lacks experience at this level. Hurdle that well though. The two Australians in front, then Holden of England, then a couple of Kenyans, then Hayward of Wales. Jerry Stevens, the British record holder, has lost his place a little bit and is having to move back. The race beginning to boil, 2.5 laps left. The world record holder, O'Brien of Australia. In second place, Manning of Australia. Third, Holden of England. And Biwot has lost ground on them. It's Kogo now, the silver medalist, in fourth place. 2:09 is Kogo, and that's O'Brien, the world record holder. They're really beginning to move. Holden doing well to hang on to this pace. And coming through now is Jipcho of Kenya, and the Olympic champion Biwot has lost his place completely and is back now towards the end, tailing that leading group. Holden now leads from O'Brien. Manning of Australia is next. Jipcho of Kenya, number 206, and Biwot moving through from the back now, having lost his place. He's got to do a lot of running on the outside to get back, and he's doing that. Less than 2 laps left. Right on schedule for a new Games record, and it could be very, very fast, this one, if they speed up in the closing stages. The world record is held by the leader, Kerry O'Brien, at 8 minutes 22, and it should be inside 8:30 with the sprint finish they're bound to produce. O'Brien leads for Australia. Manning of Australia second. Holden gritting his teeth and hanging on third. He's really not letting them go. And then the two Kenyans, Jipcho, and he went totally. What a terrible fall for the world record holder, and O'Brien's destroyed all hope now at the water jump. And I don't know whether we could see that in slow motion after, but it may be revealing, but we shouldn't lose it now. And in fact, he missed the jump completely. He slipped on there and leaves now at the bell. Manning of Australia way in front. Being chased hard by number 206, Jipcho. Third is Holden of England. In fourth place at the moment is Kogo, and fifth is Biwot. And sixth is Gareth Brian Jones. But Tony Manning way in front, and Ron Clark's prediction coming true. And the Kenyans are chasing so hard. Jipcho working hard to go with him. But Manning so far away now in front, he's 40 metres clear, and surely unless he has the kind of accident that O'Brien had, he must take the gold medal for Australia. What a tragedy for the world record holder, but Manning was pressing him hard, and this is the last water jump. Took it well, and he's just got one barrier left. The Kenyans are chasing so hard, but they're way back. Jipcho in second place, and Manning with just one barrier between him and the Commonwealth Games title. Getting a tremendous roar of applause from this crowd. So it's gold for Australia and Tony Manning, silver for Kenya and Ben Jibco, and the Olympic champion Amos Beaumont in third place. Brian Jones of Scotland is fourth, Andy Holden of England fifth, Kogo of Kenya sixth, and in seventh place Hayward of Wales. The time 8 minutes 26 seconds, one of the fastest clocked in the world this year, and just 4 seconds outside the world record. Tony Manning, who's worked so hard for this. This is the athlete who has to travel 6 hours every weekend to compete, who trains on a track that he's had to roll himself and that's rolled out of dirt, robs Kerry O'Brien, his teammate, and the world record holder of the gold medal. That's O'Brien, who slipped going into the water jump, and really O'Brien seems to have been born to suffer. Manning's pressing on the outside, but no question of contact. He just, I think his spikes caught the barrier. I think if we see that again, that could be confirmed. It looks to me as if his spikes lipped the top of the woodwork, and he really never made contact on the top of the barrier. It's always possible, and when an athlete's tiring at that stage, he can misjudge it by a fraction of an inch. They wear quite short spikes in this event, but it looks to me as if he didn't clear it with the spike. Was just enough to imbalance him, but what a tragedy for O'Brien, who seems to have been born to suffer. He finished fourth at the Olympic Games, a magnificent performance there, a second behind the gold medalist, still without a gold medal himself, or a medal of any kind when he finished fourth there, beaten for the bronze in the last stride, and one recalls that this must have been one of the great performances of the Games, because he was the only one of the leading four who'd never raced at altitude anywhere in the world. And now this tragedy follows.